నమస్కారం ఇడి సంగతికి స్వాగతం. భారతీయ ఔన్నత్యం ఆధ్యాత్మికతలో దాగి ఉంది. ఈ విశిష్టతే మన దేశాన్ని ప్రపంచంలో ప్రత్యేకంగా నిలుపుతోంది. ఈ సనాతన భారతాన్ని ఎందరో ఆధ్యాత్మికవేత్తలు, ధర్మ గురువులు పరిరక్షిస్తున్నారు. ఈ కోవకు చెందిన వ్యక్తే సద్గురు జగ్గి వాసుదేవ్. ప్రజలను పరిపూర్ణులుగా తయారు చేయాలనే లక్ష్యంతో ఈషా ఫౌండేషన్ ద్వారా దేశ సరిహద్దులు దాటుకుంటూ జీవన యోగాన్ని అందిస్తున్నారు. ఆత్మహత్యలు, మానసిక వైకల్యంతో కుంగుబాటు వంటి సామాజిక రుగ్మతలపై ఆధ్యాత్మికతే సాధనంగా సమరం సాగిస్తున్నారు. ప్రపంచాన్ని ఆనందవనంగా మార్చే శక్తి మనకే ఉంటుందంటూ ప్రజల్లో చైతన్యం కల్పిస్తున్నారు. అసలు జగ్గి వాసుదేవ్ ప్రయాణం ఎలా ప్రారంభమైంది? దేశంలోనే ప్రముఖ ఆధ్యాత్మిక ఆవిష్కర్తల్లో ఒకరిగా ఎలా గుర్తింపు సాధించారు? పూర్తి వివరాల కోసం సద్గురు జగ్గి వాసుదేవ్తో ఈటీవీ ముఖాముఖి.
Welcome to JC Show. You are considered as one of the discoveries in this country, spiritual. How this is so?
I think most people still have not discovered.
So how you are considered a mystique guru or mystique person in this country? How you started your career? People want to know.
Now you're asking for a long story. Say I think probably when I was 4 years of age, I suddenly realized one day that I don't know anything actually. Don't know anything means I don't know anything at all. If somebody gave me a glass of water, I would be staring at water for 3 to 4 hours because I wouldn't know what is water. Well, I know I can drink this water, I can use this water, I know how to use the water, but I don't know what is water. Even today, with all the scientific exploration, we still do not know even one atom in its entirety. We know how to use it, but we don't know what it is. So if I found a leaf, I would be staring at it for 5–6 hours. I would sit up in the bed staring at the darkness for the entire night. So my father, being a doctor, started thinking I need psychiatric evaluation.
Yes.
Because this boy is simply staring at something. So in this condition, they also sent me to school. My mother said, pay attention to the teacher. I went and paid attention. The kind of attention they would have never received in their life. Absolute attention. I'm just looking at them. So initially I understood what they were trying to say. After some time, I realized that they were only making noises. I was making up meanings in my mind. Hour after hour, teacher after teacher comes and makes all kinds of sounds and go away. So I stopped making meanings. I just heard the sounds. See, right now I'm speaking. I'm only making sounds. You're making up the meanings, isn't it? Language is a conspiracy between two people. I just stopped making meaning and just very attentively heard the sounds, and it became very amusing, and a big smile spread on my face. They were not amused. So my education went like this. I just look at the teacher, I know his past, present and future, but I don't hear a thing that he's saying.
People say at the age of 25, yes, you suddenly got some spiritual power or divine power at some hill space. What is that moment, how it happened, and what you felt at that time?
Recently means about 8 years ago, this school where I studied over 40 years ago or 45 years ago, they invited me for their 125th anniversary.
Great.
I said, please see, why me? Because I was not just a not good student, I was not even a student. I didn't even know what happened there. They said, no, our school has produced union ministers, our school has produced cricketing stars, film stars, you're the only mystic, you must come.
I endorse with that.
So I went. So I looked around, standing up in a quadrangle to speak, same oppressive buildings. And when I looked at this classroom, I suddenly remembered. I was around 12 years of age. One afternoon, the teacher is trying to get a response from me. These are times when 3–4 days at a stretch, I won't even say a word, because when you don't know anything what to say, I'm still paying attention to the world. Whatever I see, it catches my attention to such a point, I can't speak. So he's asking a question and wanting to get a response. 35–40 minutes when he doesn't get a response, he holds me by the shoulder, shakes me violently like this and says, "You must either be the divine or the devil. I think you are the latter." I was not insulted by this, nor abused by this. Till that moment, my problem is, what is this, what is that, what is that, what is that? I have a question about everything in the universe. One thing was clear to me, this is me. Suddenly this man confused me about this also. I looked at myself, what am I? Am I devil or divine? What am I? Because I couldn't figure it out. I closed my eyes and sat. Initially from minutes to hours it went. One day I closed my eyes and sat. I thought it's 25–30 minutes. When I opened my eyes, there was a lot of people around me. Somebody wants to know about his business, somebody wants to know when his daughters will get married. I said, where did you all come from? Because I just closed my eyes and sat and now they're all sitting here. They said I was sitting there for 13 days. I didn't even realize, I thought it's 25–30 minutes. But still, I had a completely different world going within myself, which exploded into a very huge experience when I was 25. Since then, I'm just trying to share my experience with people. I've created… because I was practicing yoga from 12 years of age, I used yoga as a method to transmit this experience. In a way, there is nothing which is not yoga. So I used yoga as a methodology to share this experience. So, the experience means, at that moment when I just sat there, I was dripping ecstasy in every cell in my body. And I realized you don't have to do anything for this. Every human being is just capable of this. On that day I thought, I will make the entire world blissful. So it's 34 years and I've become like this. I've touched a few million people, but that's not my idea of the world. My idea of world is 7.3 billion people. So I'm saying I'm one big failure.
What actually inspired you to go for Isha Foundation and all that?
One afternoon when I had nothing much to do, I went up Chamundi Hill. I was in Mysore. So in Mysore city, it's like this, if you have something to do, you go up Chamundi Hill. If you have nothing to do, you go up Chamundi Hill. I had nothing to do, so I went up Chamundi Hill. This is a hill which is very familiar to me. So I went and sat, I parked my motorcycle and went up and sat on a rock that was very familiar to me. My eyes were still open, I didn't even close my eyes. Till that moment, I always knew this is me, that is somebody else. I have no problem with that somebody, but this is me, that is somebody else. Suddenly I did not know which is me, which is not me. The very rock I was sitting upon, the air that I breathed, the atmosphere around me, everything had become me. I thought this lasted for about 5–10 minutes, but when I came back to my normal senses, it was about 4.5 hours. For the first time in my adult life, tears were flowing. Tears and me were impossible. As I said earlier, I was dripping ecstasy in every cell in my body. So I have a super skeptical mind. I'm somebody who has a billion questions about the entire universe. So when I ask my mind what's happening to me, my mind says, maybe you're going crazy. I just check with the closest of my friends, something is happening to me. They say, what did you drink, what did you take? So there was nobody to tell me what is happening to me. All I knew was, I have hit a gold mine and I don't want to lose it. All that happened was, to put it today technically, the word yoga means union. Union means, in some way you have psychologically drawn a boundary as to what is your individuality. Right now you're an individual person and that's you, this is me, very distinctly there. But as you sit here, you're breathing. The boundary of your individuality is being broken by the breath. What the trees exhale, you're inhaling. What you exhale, they're inhaling. It's not just on the level of breath. When you eat food, what was yesterday earth, today becomes you, tomorrow becomes something else. Not just on that level, on every subatomic particle level, every particle in the body is constantly transacting. It is… individuality is an idea that we have created in our minds. Yoga means you erased that boundary and you experienced everything as yourself. This is what the union means, from individual to a cosmic level.
యువత అనేక సమస్యలతో కుంగిపోతోంది. కుటుంబ బంధాలు, వృత్తి సంబంధ విషయాల్లో ఒత్తిడి తట్టుకోలేక తనువులు సైతం చాలిస్తున్నారు. జీవనంలో అనేక సమస్యలకు జగ్గి వాసుదేవ్ ఆధ్యాత్మిక పరంగా సూచిస్తున్న పరిష్కారాలేంటి? అంతర్జాతీయ యోగా దినోత్సవాన్ని జరుపుకునేందుకు ఆయన ఎలా సిద్ధమవుతున్నారు?
It is largely believed that you are the yoga guru of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
I have not taught him any yoga. He's been practicing yoga from some other source. I don't know where he learnt it, but I have never taught him yoga.
He's doing a lot to expand yoga, to popularize yoga in the country.
See, as a Prime Minister of this nation, being concerned about the well-being of the nation is his business. Unfortunately, in India, we have not seen a Prime Minister in that context. We are thinking they are supposed to do only economic policy, this, that. Nope, it is the leader's business to think of people's well-being. So he is talking about keeping your street clean, keeping your toilet clean, keeping your hands clean. For the first time, there is a movement. There he has put some film stars to activate people to wash their hands with soap. I'm saying this is all the concerns of a leader, because if the nation has to go ahead, how people live has to move ahead. So in the same context, about keeping your inner dimensions well, yoga is an important part. When so many tragic things are happening, like our children are committing suicide, so many things are happening, I think it is the business of the Prime Minister to see how well-being can be brought. And it's appropriate that he put it up to United Nations. And look at the way the UN responded. Never before in the history of United Nations, 174 countries have voted for anything. Till now, for anything they have not come together. For yoga they came together. This must be a clear message to everybody. The world was waiting for India to take a step. It took so many years for us to come to that. I am glad that this Prime Minister took that step.
Do you think that he is slowly emerging as a global leader?
Obviously, there's no question. I must tell you this. I was in a Robert Kennedy 25th anniversary tour. There's a kind of a golf tournament and an event there. There were over 42 senior Democratic congressmen and senators and others. Without exception, every one of them seeking me out, coming to me and telling me, Modi, they say Modi. So Modi is a global leader. There is no other leader like that in the world right now. Okay? I'm saying they're putting him above Obama, clearly. So we also, it is not about joining a party or appreciating a man. My concern is over 400 million people in this country have still not eaten properly. If you see a strong leader, all of us should pitch on to him and see that the nation moves forward. This is our business. The problem in the country right now is we seem to be in an election mode all the 5 years. Once the election is over, once we've elected somebody, whoever that is, once we've elected somebody, it's our business to support them for 5 years to do their work. We should not be thinking anything in between. If you are concerned about the people and the kind of suffering Indian people are going through.
How you define this Modi phenomenon abroad?
He has earned it, just the way he has expressed himself, the breadth of his thought, he has earned that from the people.
Even in the Muslim countries, he is visiting, getting a lot of response.
Yes, of course. What's it got to do with Hindu or Muslim or anybody? It's got something to do with the man's capability. So people are appreciating. In the world, it doesn't matter. In the end, only competence matters.
When you met him the last, Narendra Modi, when you met him the last?
About a year ago I met. I wouldn't want to disturb him, he has things to do. Unless I can contribute something, I wouldn't go to anybody. I don't go and ever meet any politician.
But do you feel that Babas or Dharm Gurus should enter into business?
The success of a nation today is not determined by its military success or even political success. The success of a nation is determined by the success of its businesses. Within the parameters of the law, if anybody does good business, all of us must clap our hands. It doesn't matter who he is. If he's breaking the law, please take action. If he's doing things within the law, I think we must appreciate. Because Baba Ramdev was going around on a hired bicycle with a rented vessel with 50 kilograms of Chavanprash in 1998. In 2016, if he made his enterprise into a 5,000 crore enterprise, and that too not full-time, okay, he's only part-time looking at it. Full-time he's got something else to do, he's got his yoga to do. I think all of us should be proud of this. I don't know why we have trouble with this.
So what special you are doing on this 21st June International Yoga Day? Visiting some UN or somewhere?
See, the most important thing for me this year is, about 4 months ago it came to my notice that over 9,000 children below 18 years of age committed suicide in our country. Over 1,700 children below 14 years of age committed suicide. We must understand this much. When our children start committing suicide, we must clearly know we are doing something very fundamentally wrong with our lives. I want everybody, the viewers who will watch your channel, to look at it this way. Suppose our children committed suicide in our home, a 12-year-old child. Can you ever become free from that in your life? If a 12-year-old child committed suicide in our home, we know clearly we are doing something wrong, isn't it, with life? So it's happening in the nation and it's large scale. And one of the main culprits is the education system. This education system, which was created to be in service of Her Majesty, we are still continuing the same thing and killing our children of all the things. A child is an exuberant life, a bundle of joy, a fresh life. If that life wants to take itself out, then we must understand we have not figured what is life. Changing the fundamentals of our education system must happen, but that may take some time. So I thought, let's reach out. On that day 4 months ago, I said at least 10,000 schools we must touch. On that day, 10,000 looked like a big number. But I traveled through these 8-9 states, met all the chief ministers and education ministers. They responded with enormous enthusiasm and they were deeply concerned about this issue. And today we are touching over 30,000 schools. Approximately somewhere close to 2 crore children between the age groups of 10 and 16 we are touching. The unique thing about what we are doing is, we trained 45,600 teachers of ours who are in turn training the teachers.
Mahashivratri, I think you plan some big annual celebrations.
See, the reason why Shivaratri happens, Mahashivratri happens the way it happens is, one aspect of it is, this is an acknowledgement to the Adiyogi who represents that day. Why is it important to acknowledge him? He is 15,000 years ago, he is the first one to bring this idea into human mind that if you strive, if you're willing to strive, you can transcend all limitations which are considered natural limitations upon the human being. For the first time, he brought you this idea, if you're willing, you can evolve beyond your present state of existence. This is very, very important. Otherwise, people will become fatalistic. So to bring that idea back to people in a live way, that is why that aspect. Another thing is, in terms of planetary position, because planet is revolving at a certain angle, not straight like this, because of this, on that particular day, the way the gravity or the upward pull of the moon and the sun works on that day is that there is a natural upsurge of energy in the human body. When that upsurge happens, it's very important you keep your spine erect. This is why they told you not to lie down on that night. So how to keep people up the entire night? So we have fantastic music, dance, meditation, everything going from evening 6 to morning 6, 12 hours, non-stop celebration, so that everybody sits up, alive, alert, allowing this upsurge to happen. Nature is asking you to be spiritual on that day, just make use of it.
I think you are a wonderful combine of spiritualism and materialism when you travel into all helicopters and planes and hotels and bikes and all that, people say. So how you manage?
Why, if I do a bullock cart, I'll become a spiritual person. I also ride bullock carts, I love bullock carts. Yes, I'm slowly abolishing all vehicles inside the ashram and bringing back bullock carts for people to move around, because we want animals, we want quietness and no engines roaring. So I love bullock carts also. But do you want me to come from Coimbatore to Delhi in a bullock cart? Then you will say I'm a fool. If I fly, then you say, oh, he's flying. What to do? Somebody comes and asks me, because I always, wherever possible, most of the time anywhere in the world, I drive myself, because I believe I'm a better driver than most people. So somebody says, you drive your own car, what kind of a spiritual person are you? This is because people have come to a conclusion that spirituality is some kind of a disability.
Wow.
Spirituality is not a disability, it's the biggest empowerment that a human being can have. And why are you going in the car? In the ancient times, yogis used to walk. Then I said, you idiot, in ancient times everybody was walking, not just the yogi.
People are curious to know, actually in the country, you are a sant, sannyasi or grihast?
I'm grihast.
Do you feel there is some Bhagwan, इंसान मरने के बाद कहाँ जाता है, ऊपर जाता है, कहाँ?
You want to know what is death? Some things you know best only by experience.
The last question, how you visualize this world after 50 years?
How we make it? I want to make it a wonderful place, because this is a fundamental responsibility we have as a generation of people, is we are just a pop-up on the planet. We are here for a brief amount of time. In the life of this planet, we are just 2 seconds, you and me. The world was given to us in a certain way. It's our business to leave it little better. I hope we leave it better than the way we got it.
Thank you so much.
మరిన్ని విభిన్న అంశాలతో మరో ఇది సంగతిలో కలుసుకుందాం. నమస్కారం.